For 20-some years, Brenda Watson has helped people detox, digest, and ward off chronic diseases. She is the author of 6 books on digestive health, which are easy to digest. Her newest is a cutting-edge health Bible filled with answers and solutions you may not get from your GP. However, she wrote it with 2 medical doctors and a scientist. It is my pleasure to welcome naturopathic physician and certified nutritional consultant Brenda Watson to Vancouver and to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
All the way from Florida,
All
where
the way.
I'm sure everybody is in perfect health.
No.
No,
They're not.
they're not. Okay, and Suzanne Summers, she was here. We had a lovely chat, and she has endorsed the Road to Perfect Health encyclopedia, we can call it,
Yes.
because it is a heavy one.
Yes, it's about 7 pounds, so you could lift weights with it if you need to.
Which is good.
Yes, good.
So, bottom line on how to balance the gut and heal the body. Where do we start?
Well, we start with detox and cleansing because you have to remove. It's sort of like remove, repair, restore. Sort of like that's the way the process works. So in order to detoxify, we need to, cleanse. And it's not just cleansing, Fanny, the digestive tract. It's cleansing that entails the lungs, the skin, the liver, all the what we call the channels of elimination. So some people perceive that cleansing is just like a colon flush or something that you do to lose weight really quick.
A coffee enema.
Exactly.
Yes.
No. For many, many thousands of years, herbs have been used and they target certain organs. So say, milk thistle, blue perum, celandine, artichoke, or liver herbs that help the liver to release toxins which go to the gallbladder, to the gut. And so you need certain herbs for the kidneys, for the colon, and that's what detoxification is about.
Can you detox all those vital organs at once, or do you specifically set your sights on, say, the liver, our future?
Well, I think you can. Total body cleansing does address all of it. And then, if you choose, you could go into a focused, what I call focused liver cleanse. The liver takes a lot of punishment today, and most people don't even realize it. But the fastest growing condition today in North America, Canada as well, is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which means people don't drink alcohol, but they develop fatty livers. And they do because the toxins cannot be processed through the liver fast enough, and the liver begins to store them and then create fat around them.
Okay. And a doctor told me once, our liver is our future.
It is.
Even though it regenerates, we can do a lot of damage to it, and it comes back a little bit. But if you don't have a healthy liver, you're in trouble. How do you know if your body is toxic? What are the signs?
Signs could be as mild as fatigue and brain fog, or it could be a more progressed condition, like looking at fibromyalgia or skin skin conditions, allergies, things like that. So in the beginning, it can be minor, like you just have some fatigue, sluggishness, things like that. But as those toxins stay in your body longer and longer, and the most dangerous ones are the fat solubles. Those are like the petrochemicals, pesticides. They're stored in fat, which of course the brain is the biggest fat cell. So as they stay in there longer, then your condition can progress into a disease.
And how do you test? How do you know?
Well, if you wanted to test, you could actually do a lab test, a urine test, that would tell you if you've got benzenes or any of the type of toxins coming out of your body. Most people don't do that. If you look at the Environmental Working Group, they went around and randomly tested people and found the average person has 79 different chemicals in their blood. So we're not releasing them. There's 80,000 in the environment.
And you say it could come from your mattress, from your toothpaste, from your deodorant, from your food, from the air, from the sea.
Right. Anything. Okay, well, think about it. Where are you going to take them in? Your lungs, obviously. You don't see those.
Right.
They're coming in through your food or anything that you take, whether it's like a ibuprofen. Any of that has to go back out of the body. The small intestine is the size of a tennis court. Think about that.
It is.
Yes.
So it's long.
Long and a lot of space. So then the other way is just like you said, your skin. Your skin is your largest absorptive organ. So between the lungs and the skin and the digestive tract, we have a lot of toxins coming in. But you know, Fanny, I think the average person doesn't think about it because they can't see them.
Mm-hmm. You can sometimes feel them, however, as you say, when you have a brain fog or you're just not feeling your best and you think something is wrong with my body. You eat certain foods, you have a bit of a reaction.
Right.
I know there's a big move to gluten-free these days, and yet everybody shouldn't be gluten-free. So it's very hard to do the math.
Right, it is. Gluten is a big problem.
Mm-hmm. And digestion.
And digestion.
Big problem. A nation hooked on Tums for the tummy.
Right, and acid blocking medication, which now actually they've come out and said, the FDA's come out and said now you should not take those long term. They increase C. difficile, which is antibiotic resistant bacteria, pneumonia, and osteoporosis.
Really?
Yes.
So, to detox, and you've written 6 books on detox. Do you fast a day? Do you take herbs? Do you take potions and lotions? What do you do?
Well, I think the best thing to do is, I don't like to suggest fasting. I think it can be dangerous unless you are under the care of a healthcare professional or a doctor. So I think herbs are the best way to go, and eating good natural food while you're doing a program.
Okay, so eat less, mostly fruits and vegetables seems to be the mantra of many nutritionists today. Agree?
Yep, I agree.
In the morning, I always drink a squeeze of half a lemon in some warm water because somebody told me, one of them, that it throws your body alkaline, and an alkaline body heals itself.
That's a very good recommendation.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
So I'm doing it right.
You are doing it right. That's a good thing.
Skip the scotch in the night.
Yeah, don't.
Right, and squeeze the big lemon in the water. Start out with a little warm water. And what about coffee?
Coffee is okay as long as it's not in excess. I generally, if a person's going to do a specific detox, let's say they're going to take an herbal program for, I don't know, 2 weeks, 30 days, whatever. During that period of time, I don't say you can't have any coffee. First of all, they could have a bad headache coming off of it. They could switch to green tea if they wanted to, but just not excess. They've got to increase their water intake, you know, those types of things while they're taking herbs.
Okay, and on your list, on Brenda's list of superfoods, there are what? Blueberries are always on the list. Wild salmon, always on the list. What
Right.
else?
I would
Good foods to eat.
Greens.
Greens.
I do not go hardly a day without eating some type of greens, whether it's kale, whether it's collard greens, whether it's mustard greens. Greens are just, they're going to help you support your body so much.
Okay, sounds like collard greens might have been in your past.
They were.
Really? Where,
I eat them
Where were you born?
North Carolina.
Okay, I can hear that a little bit. Living now where?
In Florida, in Clearwater, Florida.
Okay, so tell me about the Bible, because Suzanne, who I respect and did a lot with bioidentical hormones, has written a lovely introduction saying that this is the go-to book with up-to-date information. So say you have cardiovascular disease, #1 killer. You go to cardiovascular disease, and what are we going to learn in here?
What you're going to learn under cardiovascular disease is the connection to the gut. And what this breaks it down into is what the condition is, who gets it, what are the signs and symptoms, what does traditional medicine do for it, and then what you can do for that condition naturally.
Right, and bottom line, in most of these chronic diseases, no matter who you talk to, inflammation, inflammation, inflammation. Body
Right.
is inflamed for whatever reason. How do you decrease inflammation?
You decrease inflammation by healing leaky gut. Leaky gut is the doorway to inflammation in your body, no matter where it is. We call it silent inflammation sometimes because you can't see it or feel it for a long period of time. And actually, it's what the new PBS show coming out is going to be on, the connection between silent inflammation and the gut. When the gut wall becomes porous or no longer semi-permeable, then you have these inflammatory toxins entering your bloodstream. They circulate through your body, create cardiovascular disease like plaque or joints or brain conditions like Alzheimer's. So the beat goes on and on, but the gut is the first thing that you heal.
So someone who has Crohn's disease, for instance, a bad gut problem, caused by, well, I'm sure some hereditary factors.
Yes, probably.
But what else?
Well, it's definitely usually a food linkage to it. There's some type of food allergy or sensitivity, whether they know it or not. The other thing that's happened is they lack enough of the friendly bacteria called probiotics. So probiotics, which we have about the size of a brick in our digestive tract of probiotics, the friendly bacteria. I call it your GPS, your gut protection system, because it's a radar.
Right. So how do you know if you have lots of probiotics, the good stuff in your gut, or the bad stuff? You burp a lot, you what?
Some people do, Fanny. They have a lot of symptoms. They might have gas and bloating or constipation or IBS. But believe it or not, because I do a lot of stool testing, I see a lot of people that have conditions that they don't relate to the gut, but their gut's still out of balance. So it means if, let's say they have arthritis or they have, like I said, skin conditions, they don't relate that to here.
Right.
But I will tell you, when we do stool analysis, we see the friendly bacteria levels are low, we see inflammation, we see they don't digest their foods well. It's a very comprehensive test.
Well, I looked up under C, constipation.
You did.
And I learned some amazing things, I have to say. When we come back, we'll talk about that, because pretty much most of the world's constipated.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if we have to be, like you say, we have to be in the road to perfect health. We'll come back.